What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name's Alicia. I love doing makeup reviews and tutorials. If you're into that kind of thing, I hope you will subscribe before you leave. In today's video, we're going to be doing a demo / review on the new Kylie Cosmetics. This is the 24K palette. So this was like for her 24th birthday. Of course, it has got her on the cover. The actual packaging itself looks exactly the same. This palette is sold on Kylie Cosmetics website as well as Ulta. It retails for $60, that's probably the most expensive Kylie eyeshadow palette that I have seen thus far. I do own, I think, 2 other of hers, but this one does come with 24 shades. It's also the biggest one that she has come out with. It's got a huge mirror. It says 24 on it. And then here is your collection of shades here. So you have got mattes, you have got shimmers, you've got kind of glittery toppers, which I actually did use that one today. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm not gonna swatch all of these, but I'm gonna swatch a few. So let's see here. I definitely wanna swatch this one here. I love this shade. This is, it's called Better Than Gold. I have these little collection on my eyes, so I'm not going to swatch those. I'm going to do Certified Gold, and let's do this one right here, which is called Exquisite. So here are the shades here. That is beautiful, and this one is super buttery. Look how this just keeps going and going and going. Look at that. That is insane. One swatch, I mean, y'all saw it. So this one is not as creamy, but still very pigmented. But yeah, that shade is insane. All right, I'm gonna swatch, I think I'm gonna swatch one more, because I was interested in this one as well, which is called Shine Baby. That's another one of those that is super creamy and just goes on forever. All right, so you guys saw some of the swatches. The shimmers swatch, amazing. Kylie's mattes I am familiar with as well. I'll go ahead and swatch one of those just so you can see it, but these are very creamy and these always work well for me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get right on with the eye look. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get right in with the eye look. The only thing that I've got on so far is just my moisturizer, a lip balm, and I did prep my lids with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And this is the palette we're using today. This is the Kylie 24K. This is like her birthday palette. I do have a previous one of her birthday palettes, which was this one, Sipping Pretty. I think this was for like her 21st birthday, and it too is a gorgeous palette. So I go into this not really being a fan of Kylie. I don't watch the Kardashians or anything like that, but I do own a few of her makeup products, the ones that stuck out to me or the ones that I was interested in. And when I saw this palette, I just thought the color story was so pretty. This currently is being sold on Ulta's website and Kylie Cosmetics. It's retailing for $60 now. I caught this on sale for 35 bucks. So I checked today, it is not on sale any longer, but I would just keep an eye out because Kylie does go on sale pretty regularly on Ulta's app. But we are gonna go ahead and get right in. I think the first color I'm gonna go in with is Seize the Moment, which is this like yellowish orange color here. All right, so I pulled you guys in a little bit closer, and again, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this shade. And you can tell there is not much kick up at all in the pan. As usual, I'm gonna do one eye on camera and I'll catch up the other eye off camera, and then we'll come back for the lower lash line. But I happen to love like yellow and yellowish orange shades. I just think they blend out so pretty and look so nice on the eyes. That blended out really good. I think I'm gonna build it up just a little bit. Okay, so definitely very pigmented, and as you could tell, these build up very nicely. I think the next color I'm gonna go in with is this brownish shade here, Moments in Time. All right, with that, I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is clean, it's just stained. And I'm gonna go into that other shade. I'm gonna tap this off. I'm gonna put this shade right here in the outer corner. And I am working this up into the crease a little bit, but I'm keeping it low. I think that shade is a little bit less pigmented than the yellow. So I'm gonna go into a flat brush. And again, I'm just gonna pack this on the outer corner over here. All right, for the lid shade, there are so many beautiful gold options in this palette, but I think I'm gonna go in with this one right here, which is called Gold Fever. All right, and then because I'm curious, I wanna go into this shade right here, which I think is just so freaking pretty. This one is called Fine Metal. And I'm gonna put this on the center. It's kind of just like an accent. And that's more of kind of like a chartreuse type of a color. All right, now I'm gonna go in with a fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna go back into that first shade we used, which was Seize the Moment. And I'm gonna clean up that crease area. So I'm just gonna look down into a mirror, and right where the shimmer shades end, I'm gonna run this shade along the crease just to get out any shimmers that may have got in there. So the only thing that I will say so far, I like this look thus far. I just don't really like this outer edge business over here. So I think I'm gonna take that Fine Metal shade, and I'm just gonna kind of pack this, because it's a less pigmented type shade. It's more of like a topper. And I'm just gonna kind of tap this on that corner because I don't like how those shades blend together. I think that looks a whole lot better. It just makes it kind of blend a little bit more. But as you can tell, you can still see the darkness through there, so you do still have that definition. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this eye here. I'm gonna go ahead, do the other eye, do my face makeup, and then we'll be back for the lower lash line. All right guys, I'm back. I've got on the rest of my makeup, and I'm gonna go ahead and run you through what I've got on the rest of my face. I've got on the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream. This is in shade 510, which is fair. This is a rediscovered favorite. Saw it in my collection. It's almost empty, so I'm just trying to use it up, but this one is so good. I also have been using the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. This is in shade 345 Oatmeal. It's got a nice peachy undertone, really cancels out the dark circles. And then to set my face down, I have been using this powder a lot lately. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop mattifying powder. Very thin, sets everything down really nicely. And yeah, I've just been loving that. I have the shade Light. And then for the other face products, I figured we would kind of keep it in the Kylie family. So for my bronzer, I pulled out Tequila Tan. And in general, I love Kylie's bronzers. She's got one that's called Toasty. That's also really good. And there's one that I use all the time for cool tone looks. Let me grab that one. This one is in the shade Khaki, and it is really good as well. All right, and then for highlight, I pulled out this palette, and I used this shade right here, which is called Cheers, Darling. It seriously gives me like Precious Petals from Wet n Wild vibes. I feel like you get the same type of glow. But yeah, I do love that shade. And then for blush, I love her blushes as well. She does complexion products really well. This is the blush that I pulled out, and this is Kitten Baby. So it's just a nice peachy corally type shade. All right, brows, Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown, and we're gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line. All right, so again, I'm just gonna dip back into this dark brown shade here, and I'm gonna get that as close as I can on my lower lash line, and I'm just using a little angled liner brush. So just right against the lash line. All right, and then I'm gonna take a little pencil type brush, and I'm gonna go back into that first shade we used. This is probably my favorite shade that I used today. This like yellowish orange type of a shade, like a mustard, I guess you would say. And that's, you know, that's exactly what I was going for. So I'm just gonna buff this out. I am tapping this off now that we've got our makeup done. All right, and then for the inner corner, honestly, I don't see anything in this palette I would really want to use as the inner corner. I think this matte shade here is creamy matte. I think that's a good like blending out type shade, or to set the lids. This one, it kind of has pinky undertones, I feel like. Maybe not. In the pan, it looks like it does. Let's see what that color looks like. All right, so I'm just gonna take like a little smudger brush, and I am gonna go into that shade, which is actually called 24. This is just stained from where I used it with a black shadow previously. And I'm gonna pop that right in the inner corner. Okay, so that actually worked out pretty good. And I'm gonna bring this down right here in the inner third of the lower lash line, just connecting it to those other shades over there. All right, and that is it. I'm gonna go ahead, catch up the other eye, put on my mascara, and we'll be back for the final thoughts. Okay, so this is the finished makeup look. I really love how these shades make your eyes just like pop. I think it's a very interesting collection of colors. Even though you have got a ton of neutrals in this palette, you have also got these shades here that are just so interesting and different, and then as well as this pink shade here. I love all the sparkle. I think you've got a lot of mattes as well as shimmers. I think this is a very balanced palette. This inner corner highlight, it actually did work great as an inner corner, so I really did like that. I think you can get some beautiful everyday looks with this palette, as well as, you know, amp it up a little bit. I really love this shade here. Both of these I think were bomb. This one was a little bit flaky. I would think if you're using that on its own, definitely a glitter glue, but if you're using it on top of other shadows, you're definitely going to want to do your eyes first with that one. This, I wish it would have had kind of like a darker orange, because I didn't like how this looked in the outer corner over here. I didn't like how those colors blended together. However, after I added that topper to it, I'm happy with the look now, but I do wish they would have had a darker orange type of a shade. I feel like these don't really go too deep, you know what I mean? So that's my only critique. This is $60. I got it for $35, as I mentioned. For $35, I would say definitely. I don't think I would pay $60 for this though, to be honest with you. So I do love this palette, but I would keep my eye out for a sale. Like I said, on Ulta's app, Kylie Cosmetics goes on sale all the time. So I would just keep an eye out for that. But it is a really good palette. Everything performed excellent. But yeah, that is my thoughts on this palette, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.